welcome Barrister Seyi Akinwunmi to give us the flow of the event. Thank you, Genia. Like I said, she's going for an award, so thank you so much. Yes. So we'd like to welcome Barrister Seyi Akinwunmi to give us the flow of collaborations. What are we expecting here today? Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was actually, the first flow was meant to be for me to welcome you. My name is Seyi Akinwunmi, as she said, and I consider myself the first child of Mrs. Adiliji. So I think the first thing to do is actually to prostrate in apology for coming late. And the reason is I was in church and you know how the pastors can be, they just called, following people singing after church. And I couldn't really escape. So it's not out of disrespect. This event is extremely important, I think, because I'm also the child of a mother. And there has to be collaboration. I tell people that many years ago, my mother and I used to quarrel. You know, I was that child that she was just talking about, I'll call you later, and never really call back. Because I asked myself, when I call back, I should say this, to complain about the story. And then, at some point in my life, I realized that, you know, my mother won't be here forever. And, you know, I would miss her. And if I don't try and do anything, everything to make her happy, then I'm the one who's going to lose out. And I decided that day that, you know, anything my mother says she wants, she gets. Because, you know, I miss my father was gone. So, and I didn't have that relationship. So I thought, you know, God gave me a second chance. That's why I kept my mom for this long. So basically, we're here to talk about collaborations. And I listened to the last speaker, at least I caught the last bit of what she was saying. And essentially, we find that there is a lot of time, there is a disconnect. Maybe that's why Reconnect came into being. There's a disconnect between the parents and the children. And a lot of the time, we assume that it's the children that cause this disconnect. Sometimes it's not. I dare say, a lot of the time, it's not. You see, I'm in between because I have children who used to disconnect with me, but I'm glad to say I think I'm reconnected with them because of what I learned. Actually, and one of the things that helped me was the first reconnect that we had. Someone in Kenya too. And I was speaking to somebody, and the person was talking, and I thought to myself, this is me. You know, I assume that when I say the older generation, I assume it's my parents' generation. But I'm here also, so, and then I have my parents. So in between, I can understand, I think, a bit of what happens all through. And therefore, I'd actually like to tell you my perspective before I just sort of give you a brief rundown, and I won't take your time. I think that, you know, where the essence is for us to collaborate with our children. And collaboration means that we work together. Yes, many of us who are older have had life experiences. And you know, we hear this adage that says that where the older people are sitting, nobody can see. The younger people can stand on the tree and still not see. And it's true. And it's true. But you see, the thing is, there's a lot, because you are sitting down and you're not as mobile as they, what the little child can see because they're going around the place, you may not be able to see where they're sitting in one place. So once you acknowledge that it's a two-way street, I think there lies the solution to your happiness in relationship with your children. I just say, not everybody can be happy, but relationship with your children, you've nurtured all of us. You don't want at the end, to then see that there's no connection. I'm sure when my children moved out of the house, it was as if, you're abandoning me, But now, because we connect, we come in. I just left one of them at home at the moment. I just took my wife at home and we're waiting outside because they wanted to see us. So, small me, I'd like to counsel that the first thing is for you to look inwards. Look at yourself. Am I doing things to make these children want to come and see me? To make them want to come and talk to me? To make them feel at home in my presence? Am I judging them? Especially the younger ones now. We in our generation, we were just like, this was taken like that. I was speaking with my friend's children a few days ago because they're having a bit of an issue. And this 15-year-old boy was telling me that my friend, his father, was not emotionally intelligent. And I looked at him, I said, I can't imagine me telling my father that. Before I finish, he broke. But that's the truth. So we too must adjust. By the time we finish speaking, he understood that one, that's not the way to speak about your father. Two, what you think is emotional intelligence is only within your own prison. You don't understand emotional intelligence. So you try to educate, and he called me later at night and said, I found that discussion extremely enlightening, and therefore I'm going to apologize for that. And between the evening and now, we're best of friends. Until tomorrow. But if we understand that, then we'll find that we're able to collaborate. Now, when I was talking to Mommy about this theme, I said, you want to get all your mates and a bit older and a bit younger into this Reconnect thing. But it's not sustainable if the children don't buy into it. So how do we get them to buy into it? And hence the collaboration. So, for example, what I do is if my mom is ill, she just needs to make a phone call, hospital. Or see a doctor, I get a doctor to come and see her, I pay a doctor who comes to see her every so often. Now, part of that illness is because maybe she's just sitting around, life is not vibrant. So, if we can get the children to key into this and ensure that I can get my parents to attend this group or be in this group where the life is vibrant, they will reduce a lot of things that are a big problem to me. They have friends that they can go and speak with. They can share notes. Oh, yeah, you're back to speaking. Me too. When it happened to me, so happened. Because they're contemporaries. So if we can get that, it's to our benefit. So what we need to do is, yes, target the older people, but we need to ensure that we educate them in a way to talk to their children to buy into this idea. And I think if we understand that, you'll find that most young people, that is my age and a bit younger, are quite happy to say, look, you know what, if I have to pay for you to go and be with your friends, it frees me. They're quite happy to do that. But they must understand what it is that you're doing. And I think that the dynamics of this is key. And it comes from you, the older ones. Believe me that the younger ones are quite happy, especially if it's 0-1, no problem. First, let's get them to key into it. And then the lessons we learn in our interactions will enable us fill that collaboration gap. And because you are happier, I'm sure when you live here and everybody is laughing and joking, when I get old, you're happier, so you're vibrant. It's not, this boy has come again, he didn't even buy me, no, understand? You will find that then there's a lot more things. They see you happier, and therefore they can speak with you, rather than see you as, a burden or a complaint or or a duty. It's not. Our parents are not a duty. Because when you see that relationship as a duty, then just do it and move on. But we want relationships. And therefore, we believe that the parents need to also look at the various things that they don't look at. When's the last time you actually called your 40-year-old child or 50-year-old child and said, you know what, I'm making something I want to send to you. I'm making stew. I just said today I'm making stew. Send it to you. Send your driver. I'll come down. Little things that you were doing when we were young. When we were young, you would do anything for the child. You now think, oh, they're old, they can do themselves. In fact, they should do it for me. But we also need to engage. So I think that I'm not one of the speakers, so I'm already taking too long. But we should look at this thing as mutual benefits. We should look at this as shared wisdom. I heard us talk about it. I spoke with my mom some time ago about an issue I had at work. And she just broke, she's not a lawyer. The way she broke it down, I thought, how can I be so stupid? I didn't even see it. I honestly, but see, that is experience. But if it was a few weeks ago, or a few years ago rather, the way my mom would communicate that thing to me, I wasn't even listening. I was like, okay, no, yes, and I move on. But the communication is different now. So she didn't make me look stupid. She didn't make me look as if we don't have experience. She communicated to me and I thought, what I've said, you could have been a lawyer. And I've been worked that way. So I think that collaboration in that regard is fine. I think we also need to engage with our children looking at technology. I find that a lot of older people say, this computer thing, I don't know, Jerry, I can't, but if there is an effort on your part, and this is not as difficult as we seem to. I did it, even me, because I didn't grow up with computer. So I think that if you make that effort, you find that there are things you can do. So now, my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she used to, every Sunday, speak with all the children, all the grandchildren, video call. And everybody knew their time. So whatever I was doing at a particular time, it's almost my time. So I went by my phone. I won't call her, she will call. Then we also then have group family initiated by my mom. So those things also bridge the gap. But we have to be the one willing to do it. Because once the children see that you are coming to their space, they're happy. They're happy to welcome you. And therefore, you can then give the advice you want to give in a different way. And we will take it. Because we know that you are parents. And you have more experience than us. And we're not like the Gen Z that think that they know the whole thing. They know everything. But we are managing that, but don't worry. But that's the way. Finally, for us to go today, I just want to tell you the plan. And the plan is, first of all, Seyi Akinwunmi should have come much earlier. And you should have done the welcome. But after this, and then we had now money matters. And money matters business in the new normal. Now, you might think that, look, I'm retired and, this is not as important to me or not, but I'm sure when Prince Adebayo comes to speak, you'll find it quite interesting. I've known him for very many years. As a young man, he was very adventurous in business. He's one of the people in our set who got this thing called Lekki Sauce Splash. And he has thousands of people there before the days I started having concerts. So he's now an old man, whether he likes to admit it or not. But he, I think, can then give you a perspective. And I please ask you at the end of it to ask as many questions. Because outside of here, you don't want to ask the younger person questions about business. But you'll find that he's able to give you. He's the 14th president of Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, member of the Governing Council of the Institute of Directors, and he was a gubernatorial candidate, or is and will be, from those states, and he's a serious entrepreneur. After that, we're going to have something called School of Performance, intentional personal development. And personal development is not only for the youth. There is no time, as long as you have breath, that you shouldn't seek to develop yourself. But then after that, I'm going to have the Reconnect experience. Why this is important for us, a message from Reconnect members to the younger generation too. It'll be like a talk show. And I think it'll be very interesting. I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. It's why this? Why are you not at home on the Sunday afternoon? Why are you here? And those who are not here, what should they know to make them come here, to make this hall too small for us the next time? So the only people who can talk about this to their friends are people who are here and see the value. And then after that, I think we're just going to have a clash of generations. Maybe the clash is not the word, but I'm sure you know what I mean. It's different perspectives between Gen Z and baby boomer, what do you call it? Yes, baby boomer. Yes. So we're going to have different perspectives to talk about. And then, of course, we have to sustain this.